All right. So, I was bored today and I was looking through, well, this whole weekend, I guess, I've been kind of bored. And I was looking through social media, and it seems like the Me Too movement is something that everybody's talking about all of a sudden again. And it's interesting because, I mean, cancel culture has never stopped. We have been living in a time of cancel culture for a pretty long time. So I thought it would be interesting. I've always seen YouTubers do these tier lists, and I always thought it would be kind of fun to do my own tier list. And so I decided that we're going to make a tier list of where all the people involved in Me Too are now. And we're going to see if getting canceled back in 2017 and 2018, if that actually had any kind of effect on any of these powerful people. Um, so there was an article that I have up now. It's on the New York Times that was written back then. There was quite a few of the New York Times staff that were all involved in compiling this list of 201 lost jobs or major roles that were part of the Me Too movement. I don't know about you, but I was mostly aware of the Hollywood people that were involved in all of this because they were the most high profile, like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, for example, that I have in the description. Louis C.K. These kind of people. A lot of the political people too. I remember some things that were going on with politicians, but there were some of these that were I don't even remember them happening, and I had to kind of go and look up who some of these people were. But as I was looking at this, I decided like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go on here and see if we can't start a tier list to figure out who were the winners and losers of the Me Too movement and this cancellation and cancel culture that started all of that. So they have this really nice graph here of all the people and what they're saying. This was as of October of 2018. We might check in some of these women and men who have replaced them to see what's happened to them too. That could be fun. And also the people that accuse them, because I was looking into some of this stuff, and for example, there were a couple people. Eliza Dushku came to mind, where she had accused the star of Bull. I can't remember the guy's name, but she accused him of basically bullying and sexually harassing her. So she only lasted for 3 episodes back in 2017. 2018 was when everything went public on that, and then she basically has not worked since then. She moved to Boston, went back to college, and is trying to help other women who have been through these types of situations. Meanwhile, the man she accused still, has a job. So we're going to look into some of these things, and we're going to try to rank what's happened since to find out if anything from this cancel culture and Me Too movement has actually done anything. And at the top of all of this stuff, we have Harvey Weinstein. So he basically became the villainous mascot of the Me Too movement. Harvey Weinstein, everyone is basically, I assume, pretty aware of who he is and what was going on. There was a list of, what, 50 women, something like that, that had accused him of basically, I mean, raping them. They all had very similar stories. They all were, they all worked with him. There was the same thing coming out over and over. And he ended up, he tried to come out. I'm in Arizona, actually, where he tried to come. I'm in Tucson, so not exactly where he tried to come, but he went to, I believe, Scottsdale to try to go to a sexual addiction thing, because he tried to convince everybody that, he's just an addict and that was his mental health play. And he did inevitably get charged, if I remember correctly. Let me pull this up on Google so that we are keeping it 100 on this here. Let me actually, I've got two different windows up, and I'll pull this one up so we can look at it together, just so that you guys can. Wikipedia is going to be our source. We're going to be sourcing mostly Wikipedia, IMDb, all sorts of things that normally should not be used as academic sources, but it is what it is. So he was fired from his company. He's still not back. He was convicted of the sex crimes. 2020 sentencing. Oh, that's right. COVID. He tried to get out from COVID. I remember that, actually. Um, isolation, suspected COVID symptoms in November. He did not have it. 2021. Flown to Los Angeles, and he's now serving time, as it looks like. So Harvey Weinstein has been essentially canceled. So we have to figure out here. He's going to be the extreme on one side or the other. I've been pondering back and forth, and I'm trying to decide if like the high grade, because he either deserves to be at the top or the bottom, because if it's the top, then that means that, like, we're grading the Me Too movement as, and the cancel culture as this. But for his career prospects, I mean, he's absolutely at the bottom of this one. So I'm gonna go. I think it'll be easier for me to remember and keep track, because I'm eating bacon, drinking coffee, and smoking some weed. Well, not technically smoking. I'm vaping off of a vape pen, a dab pen. But yeah, so we're gonna stick him down as the F case, because if you're sexually assaulting that many women, and you're or any women, honestly, but especially when you're hitting double digits numbers, and you definitely deserve to have your whole career ruined. And his appears 5 years later. I mean, he is still going through all of the after effects of what happened. So I mean, he is, hopefully we're going to see some more that are here. It would suck if I have to put him in like some other way, like, because somebody else is no, this is actually going to work. I was thinking about that, because no one's going to go below him, I don't believe. Like, I don't think any of these people are getting, like, murdered over it. But I don't know. I haven't looked into any of these names, so I could sound bad by the end of this. So he was replaced by these two people from Lantern Entertainment. We can, hold on, let me pull this up on my side to see if we have anything worth coming out. Andy Mitchell. Let's go to news for these things. No, this can't have to do with him. Well, the first thing that popped up was something: ministers have a moral duty to resign over Partygate fines, but it doesn't seem like this is related to the same Andy Mitchell, I don't believe. He seems like he might be doing okay right now. Nothing coming up in the news of him. Milos Brajovic. Yeah, he's doing some business. Meet the Dallas duo who bought Harvey Weinstein's company and scored an instant hit. So yeah, both these guys are from Dallas, and they're the ones who apparently are trying to replace him in Lantern Entertainment. I guess it was the Weinstein company. It was what it was. So yeah, that was like everything got rebranded. Weinstein is, I mean, canceled in a way, because, like, obviously if we go and look, he's still a celebrity in a way, we'll call it. I don't, like, he's more notorious or infamous than famous, but he's still coming up, and obviously he's being written about quite a bit. So he may not be working, but he's getting plenty of press for what that's worth. So next we've got Lockhart Steel, an editorial director of Vox Media. I was not aware of what was going on with this one, so we're going to learn about what Lockhart Steel has done together. Hold on. And what he's done since then. That's a fantastic name, by the way. We're gonna go ahead and say, well, first off, this is where it ends, 2017. So this is a sign of cancellation right here, where, instead of Harvey Weinstein, who's still getting pressed to this day, who's getting like current PR and all of that, you've got this guy. I mean, they wrote about him in October 2017. You can see exactly when he was canceled, because that's still the most current news about the man. Let's see what he has been up to since. Let's go back to fired after being accused of sexual harassment of at least one person. All right, and he admitted to it as well. So let's go to Wikipedia. Yeah, that's pretty much where it stops. Like, it seems as though he has just disappeared off the face of the planet. But besides being fired, the difference between what happened with him and what happened with Weinstein is that he did not go to jail, that I see anywhere in here. So the man whose name sounds like a character in a Fabio romance novel is Chief Dreamer. That's what he is now. Okay, let's go to LinkedIn's going to probably come into play here for a lot of these things to check where they're all at. The non-Hollywood people. So Lockhart Steel is now at Eater.com and Curve.com. He co-founded two different things. Ex-Gawker Media and Vox Media, occasional author, believer in the digital world. His picture looks creepy. Like this whole, hold on. That is, we're saving this one. This is the one that we're going to be putting into our tier list here because that is a creepy picture. But so he still seems to have a career. He is working in the same thing. He's not working for Vox Media, but he's still in the same industry. So we're going to put him at a B, actually, because he clearly, I mean, he has been canceled. There's nothing else that's being written about him, and he's obviously pushed out of some circles, but he's also, I mean, he's clearly still going. Oh, let me get all my personal shit off of this thing. So he's still going. Yeah, I mean, he in 2018, as soon as he was canceled, it's funny because it still says to present right here on his editorial director thing, and it was clearly done when he was a chief dreamer in 2018. So he was fully aware that he does not work there. But this is something I see a lot where people will. I mean, he's still leveraging his power, basically, and his credibility in order to make something of himself. So, yeah, the Lockhart Steel, who has a hilarious name. He looks like the founder, was it Larry Page or Sergey Brin, whichever one, the founders of Google, the one that looks like he's fucking this. But, yeah, so he was definitely fired. It's still showing up the top of search results. He's got to do a lot of work to get control of his search results, but he is still, running two websites apparently, and he has not seemed to have disappeared out of the media. I'm not going to go into those websites to see if what else is going on there, but yeah, he is going to be a solid B for now. We might move that later depending on how some of this goes. So next we have Roy Price. Roy Price was the head of Amazon Studios, and then in 2017 he resigned after a Hollywood producer accused him of making unwanted sexual advances. Now this is actually interesting because Harvey Weinstein was a Hollywood producer that was making the unwanted sexual advances to actresses. So then it's interesting to see that this sexual harassment and all this stuff, and rape and all the other bad things that are going on are kind of carrying their way up the ladder on every level. Let me leave this on here so it doesn't keep pulling up my views of a new one. Roy Price. So Roy Price, oh, there's a good picture of this man. We start to figure out what to do with him. He is still on, oh wow, he's still on Twitter. Kind of wonder, I love that Twitter shows this and shows up in the search results. So he's running some kind of a thread that he's doing where he is talking about someone being disgraced, which is interesting. You have to make unethical choices to get what you want. Oh wow. So now he is the CEO at International Art Machine. Now, wow, that is well, let's see how that works out. Hopefully I'm not going to keep on pulling up my personal shit for you guys, but it is what it is. Okay, it seems to be saving all that. So, head of International Art Machine, building in Web3. Oh, he's part of Web3. That's fantastic. So the founder of Amazon Prime, and so 2017, so he at least updated when he got fired on here. I might need to move down to a C, the other guy. Hold on, let's move the Fabio romance guy down to a C, just so that we have some room here, because I feel like there's going to be more people that are closer in the top that are above this that are doing way better than there are going to be ones that are down here. So I want to make sure that, I mean, he's running a couple websites, but he's still kind of using his old credentials, so he's clearly not doing that well with what he's doing now. So I might even have to slide him down. I don't know how successful a lot of these canceled people are going to be. But here we have this guy is a straight up CEO of this international art machine after what he did with with Amazon Studios, but it's in Web3. So if you're not familiar with Web3, I'm going to have a whole series on that too. But you can go read. Web3 is going great right now. That it's Molly White, I believe, is her name that does that. She is fantastic. It's a great newsletter, great blog showing all the bad things going on with Web3 and how it's just basically a huge pyramid scheme. So let's see what he's got for sexual harassment allegations. Let's see if we find out who it was. The wife of Harvey Weinstein. His fiance announced she was calling off the wedding. Oh, and her Harvey Weinstein's wife had designed her wedding dress, which is interesting. I'm wondering how many of them are going to be related to each other in different ways. I'm sure a bunch of them. So, oh, they were Hackett. Oh wow, Dick Hackett. Dick Hackett. They've got a lot of interesting romance novel names here. So he said that he was the programming chief. Oh no, Price was, and then he sexually harassed her. Oh, Isa Dick Hackett. That's right. All right, I thought Dick was a weird name for a woman. Isa Dick is, I guess, better. So he sexually harassed her at San Diego Comic Con. What a place to sexually harass somebody in 2015. And aggressively asked her for sex in a taxi, which was the first time they'd met. So he's basically just a pussy hound. He didn't know her prior to that. It's not the worst thing I suppose that could have happened to. I mean, yeah, it's bad, but this one's not as awful. And so he's managed to somehow. It seems like people agree that it was not as awful. Let's grab this picture here and stick him. Roy Price at Amazon. We're gonna give you. Shoot, see, I'm still afraid to put too many people ahead because I don't know how many other people are going to be outdoing him right now. Web3 is what makes me want to kind of drop him down. But, I mean, he could make a ton of money, and there's still a lot of power involved in Web3, even though the industry itself is doomed to fail, and the technology is awful and clunky. But there's still a lot of money and power to be made, so I'm going to put him at a B. Just to get him a little bit ahead of this guy because he at least said Lexington Steel was, hiding his name, but Roy Price, or hiding his firing, but Roy Price at least put it on his LinkedIn. So next we've got, wow, Chris Savino, creator of Nickelodeon's The Loud House, was fired after accusations of sexual harassment from multiple women. He apologized. Let's see what he is up to today. Chris Savino. Chris Savino. Let's go into news real quick. Nothing in the news because there's apparently another man named Chris Savino, or Chris Newell and Nate Savino. So there's two different people that are taking up most of his things. Let's go into Wikipedia and see how he is doing. Where is the sexual harassment allegations? Cartoon Brew reported that Nickelodeon has suspended Savino from their studio due to multiple allegations of sexual harassment against him. Rumors of Savino's inappropriate behavior, unwanted sexual advances, and threats of blacklisting female clients who no longer agree to consensual relationships with him. Now that's just fucked up. Okay, so in 2018, he was given a 1-year suspension from the Animation Guild for that. Which, I mean, if you were in corporate America, you probably, that's probably about what you would have gotten. You probably would have had to take a sexual harassment course or something. They might have, I mean, if you were in charge of the woman's supervisor, they probably would have moved her, depending on how good you were. They might have moved the guy. But, yeah, besides a slap on the hand, that seems about right for violating the law and trying to sexually harass women in the workplace like that. And I mean, that's the worst kind of coercion thing where you try to blacklist them. So allegations and everything were featured. 2019 Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. 2019 interview regret about his actions. Then he became a born-again Christian afterward. One sentence at the end of all of this, a month later, he became claimed to be a born-again Christian. Let's see if they have anything after that of him working. Does not seem like he has been rehired by Nickelodeon yet. Let's check his IMDb, make sure that it matches up. No, 2018, The Loud House seems to be the last of what he's done. He hasn't moved into other as a writer. Oh no, he's still working as a writer for some of this stuff. It looks like they moved him to the writer's room, I guess. But he's still, I mean, unless he just, oh, he's the creator. He's listed as the creator. Okay, I got you. Based on creators by, that makes, okay. So they're still using his name. He's probably getting, for sure, if they have him listed as the creator, he's getting a residual. He's still getting paid for the Loud House anytime it airs. So any of the money, however his contract works, I mean, he may not be working, but he still will be paid for the Loud House. Loud House Encyclopedia. Yeah, he's still basically living off that stuff. Let's see what he's a Christian cartoonist now. That's it is what it is. He's even got the little, he put the little cross on there just to make sure that you know. He's trying not to get DMs, so he's at least trying to get over his sex addiction, we'll say. He's not that popular on here. When was his last post? Oh, it's gonna make me log in. I don't want to log into Instagram right now. TV tropes. So yeah, he's still making money. It looks like he's doing it from home and he's in the background somewhere doing what he's doing. So it didn't look like he got fully all that canceled. Let's find a good picture of him. I almost want to put the cartoon version. Oh, here we go, the Nickelodeon one. This looks like a, oh, here we go. Now we're talking. Now we're at the creepy images. So he's still getting paid probably more than all the rest of them. So I'm gonna put him in an A for right now, because canceled or not, I mean, he basically got retired. It may have been forced retirement, but I mean, it's not anywhere near. He's 50 years old. He had to retire in Michigan at 50 years old. It looks like he lost his wife over it. Bethany Savino. He did get a divorce out of it. 3 children. He's probably paying quite a bit of alimony. So, well, hopefully he's paying it. I don't know. I don't want to have to start digging into county court records right now in Michigan to find out. But that will definitely be public record and be easy to see. But so far, he is our front runner, Chris Savino here from Nickelodeon. He created Loud House, and he's still making money off of it, and he's still using it for his name. And he got a guy to replace him. Let's check out Michael Rubiner, see what this guy. I haven't looked up one of the other people in a moment, see if he's up to anything. Michael Rubiner, executive producer. Yeah, he seems like he is still in that position and doing other things. So good for Michael Rubiner. You have not been canceled yet. So here we go. Cliff Height, an Ohio State senator. Let's find out what a politician goes through in the Me Too movement. How do you spell this guy's name? H-I-T. There we go. Former United States Senator. Now he's got a decent, at least Google knows who he is. The Knowledge Graph does. Let's go into his Twitter real quick. See how active he is. He put his statement, his cancellation statement on Twitter, pinned to the top, and then it's the last thing that he has done. So, well, let's see if he's still on Twitter. Yeah, he's just got off of Twitter. He got completely off of Twitter. in 2017. So we'll call this a Twitter cancellation so far. I don't know if he lost his job over that. Well, did it say that that's what it was? Resigned after a woman filed. So yeah, he resigned. He didn't get fired. He resigned, to be clear, and it's a state senator. So we're gonna go and find out what he later said that he had behaved inappropriately. What happened to the federal senators too? We're gonna get into sooner or later. Oh, he was a teacher too. Look at that. Before he was a politician, he was a teacher. So he was probably doing this to young kids before he got into doing it as an adult or with other adults. Political career. Resignation. He abruptly resigned in October 2017, citing inappropriate behavior and failing health. So it wasn't just his inappropriate behavior; it was also his health. If he had a health, he would have fought harder. That's interesting. News reports that he had repeatedly propositioned someone for sex. One person only. Bill was changed. Some kind of bill he passed. I don't feel like reading this whole thing. He was old, so he probably 67. He would have been retired anyway. And he's a Republican, so I'm sure that he is not suffering. Does not look like anything has ever happened to the man. He is offline. It doesn't, I mean, clearly he didn't go to jail or anything over any of this stuff, but like going through his news, his social media, he's just disappeared. So nothing to be seen of the man. I like this picture. It just seems like a good one to fit onto this one. So he did not get arrested though. How do I resize things in oh shoot, I'm doing all sorts of stupid things now. Hell, I'll just leave it this size. Screw it. So let's put him. Yeah, let's put him in this corner here because right now he's a missing person. He's in the C to D range because he did lose his job and he can't find that he did anything else. He's just laying low at this point. That is a hilariously large picture. Let me see if I can make this look a little bit less bad. Come on. There we go. Floating section. Sorry, I'm moving slow today. There we go. That's a more appropriately sized picture of him. So yeah, we'll stick him halfway. Oh, yeah, let's stick him in here because he's retired. I feel like being retired gets him a little bit better off than the two guys right in between the two guys. The one guy who's desperately trying to use his old position, the guy that is doing it successfully in the new Web3. So being, in your golden years and retired, I feel like is somewhere in that range. But it's still not to the level of what we have here with the Nickelodeon guy who is still being paid, because I don't know that he's getting paid from his state senate run. So next we've got Robert Scoble, co-founder of the Transformation Group, an augmented reality company. I've never heard of this man in my life. Resigned after being accused of sexual assault or inappropriate behavior with 3 women. Okay. He apologized for quotation marks inappropriate behavior, but he did not apologize for sexual assault. So we're going to see what Robert Scoble is up to these days. Robert Scoble. American blogger. Man, as a blogger, this guy managed to get himself into all, that's American blogger is what he is. He's not even the augmented reality guy anymore. This guy is definitely, so he's hired an SEO firm, a reputation management firm, to basically help him take control of the Google Knowledge Graph, which is what this about is doing here, and the his top thing above the fold is what it is basically. So you can see where he's selling books. He's got an overview. All of this stuff is above the search results, and that puts his thing at the top of the search results. And we know it's him because spatial computing strategies is exactly what somebody who is in augmented reality would be talking about. He is 57 years old. He is clearly doing all right as a blogger. Let's go his last tweets. Wow, 400,000 followers. He's got an amazing social media presence here. He is, as of April and May, even, this is a pinned tweet, and this is his most recent retweet. So he is definitely active to his 400,000 followers. He is verified on Twitter. He is definitely making money as a creator. He's got all of these books that are here. Yeah, he's released, clearly one of them has been, at least one of them has been released since his Billion Dollar Loser, the fourth transformation. Since its cancellation, he has had at least the one book out, and he's still selling his other books. He's actively working. He is doing everything. He's got a, I mean, this guy's living large. I'm going to have to say that this man was not canceled. On the news side, you'll see where he was canceled. I mean, people are not talking about him in the media. He's having to do this without the mainstream media, but that is definitely a path that you can accomplish these days. We're going to see more of that as we go through this list of cancellations. But as it stands, it looks like despite losing his company, oh, that's too small. He is still going. Hold on, let me get a bigger version of that. I don't like that size. These things either get too big or too small every time. Yeah, we can have it that large. He's living large, so we can do a large photo of him. We're not going to give him exact because he hasn't gotten like mainstream success yet, but he's definitely going to be in the A range. I mean, he's doing well. He has not seemed to be all that hurt about his loss. His cancellation did not work. We'll call that. So then we've got, who is this? John Besh stepped down from day-to-day operations after accusations of sexual harassment from multiple employees. He apologized. I like that he apologized is something that we're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, he apologized. That's great. So, oh, put it into the wrong one. Let me stick this into the right. We've got John Bash. Again, he is a chef, TV personality. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go look at a lot of this stuff. So he stepped down from his restaurant. Is that what it says? Yeah, Bash Restaurant Group. So now he's still a chef. Everything on here, same as before. He's got the entire knowledge graph going for him. Bibliography, television appearances, 2011, 2009, 2013. Looks like he has not published a book since then, at least not one that's on Wikipedia, but he does still have them out there. Seems to have gotten off of TV. Restaurants. He probably still owns this, even though he stepped down, canceled. Let's see what it says. But stepped down from the Executive Advisory Board for the Center for Ethics and Culture at the University of Notre Dame. According to National Catholic Reporter, other Catholic entities that have been affiliated with Vesh have not released statements about their future relationship. Of course not. Vesh also served as a judge on Food Network Iron Chef Showdown, which was originally set to air 2017, but episode got pushed back to 2018 with him having been digitally edited out. The woman, Lindsay Reynolds, actually seems to have been named one of their Persons of the Year for that year. So let's see if he's, I mean, he's still making money for sure because he's got a lot of stuff out there and he's got the money that's coming out of it. And it's obviously still going through. What I'm curious about restaurants foster culture. They're still talking about it in the like it's in the past, but he still owns it. Like they changed the culture, but he still owns this thing, I'm sure. But yeah, he's beyond that. It seems like he is out of the spotlight at least. So we're gonna give John Besh. Oh, too big. Why do I always end up going too large or too small? So we're gonna put him. Yeah, I mean he's making money, so I guess we'll get him somewhere in that range where he's doing all right. I mean, if anything, he retired early, just like the other guy. What is this? How old is he? 54. Yeah, it's not that bad to retire. Caleb Jennings, Chicago organizer for Services Employees International Union, fired after. Well, this is the first one that's fired. All the rest of these stepped down, resigned, stepped down. So now we got someone who was actually fired. Let's see what happened to Kate. Found not guilty in court. So we're already better than Weinstein. Caleb Jennings. Was that the right name? Yeah. Is this the same? A holistic. I hope that's not the same guy. Chicago organizer for. It doesn't say. Epic Food. It could be. Longtime digital marketer. He's on Clubhouse. He fits the bill. Looks like this man has just disappeared, though. It's hard to say. Let's see. Chicago. Let's put in Chicago and see if we can narrow this down. Logan Square Chamber of Commerce. No more landlord. Loan officer. Is this the guy? This mortgage man? Hard to tell. Even if it is, I mean, it seems like he's working in Compass Mortgage. I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find him specifically. Lead Chicago organizer for Fight 15. Yes, this is BuzzFeed. And then there's another one from 2019 where they are talking about him. Oh, they got 262 people on this one. Wow. Oh, because they did it 60. So I guess the 60 difference is that 2 years there was 60 more, or that year. I guess this update in July 2021. So I guess 5 years. It's definitely slowed down since then, or at least they've slowed down tracking it as Me Too. Wow, that clown thing is interesting. Oh, you know what? That could be him. This is, yeah. That actually, I'm feeling more and more that is definitely him. Yeah, yeah. He is now no more landlord on Twitter. He's a loan officer for Compass, so he got hired on by Compass Bank. They didn't care. So if you're not like a celebrity or anything like that, they do not care. He is Logan Square. He's in the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, loan officer at Cam's Jennings Group of Compass Mortgage. So yeah, he has lost nothing. He became a board member at the Chamber of Commerce after all of this. He's actually gone up. His career is actually better than it was before. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to start lowering or raising the bar, however this works, to account for the successes, the levels of success that people might achieve. So he's definitely an A. We'll get him in there. He's working for Compass. I mean, it's not like it's a great job, but like obviously he's in the Chamber of Commerce. He's not suffering. That's for sure. Nothing seems to have happened with that. Let's go with Mark Halperin, political journalist, NBC News, Penguin Press, HBO, and Showtime series, severed ties with Mr. Halperin after accusations of sexual harassment by former coworkers. He apologized and admitted to several years of, quote, inappropriate behavior. Mark Halperin, let's see what he's up to. American journalist, got a pretty solid Google knowledge graph. Ooh, it looks like he's still being mentioned in the news. How to Beat Trump book sells 502 copies in first week. So yeah, he's still disgraced journalist, was hired. Yeah, he is seemingly doing quite well for himself. Bipartisan policy group, no labels. No. That's hilarious. That is a great headline. I'll give you that. Luke Mullins at Washingtonian. That's a good headline. So, yeah, less than 4 years after his career collapsed in a flood of sexual allegations, misconduct allegations, disgraced journalist Mark Halperin has angled his way back into professional Washington, landing a consulting gig with the bipartisan policy organization No Labels. So he is a consultant and author, a pretty successful one as it turns out. It looks like he's just released another book, besides what he was doing. Yeah, How to Beat Trump. He wrote, apparently he did not have any issues. Yeah, this is hard. He's going through, we're going to have to, there's too many people in the upper end of here. We're going to have to figure that out at one point or another. Let's grab this one. I guess we're definitely going to have to use the smaller pictures because there are quite a few successful. Let's stick him right in here. That feels like a good spot where he's kind of retired, it seems. Well, let's see. No, he's still tweeting. He's not off of Twitter. Still got 300,000 people, and he's verified on Twitter. It's funny, getting canceled did not cancel anybody off of Twitter. I'm curious where Twitter's line is here, because a lot of verified people on Twitter have been canceled by everybody, it seems like, except for Twitter, who is allowing some of them to continue going. Yeah, 2021 is the last it seems that they're talking about it, but he is still definitely working behind the scenes. His social profiles are all here. Let's go into his LinkedIn. Oh, wow. Editor-in-large at Time. I hope that that's just because this is really old. Because, wow. Yeah, so it looks like he just... he doesn't even need a LinkedIn. He's just making money without it. So, Mark Halperin. Let's get a picture of him. I already have him up there, actually. I just put him up there. So, next we have Rick Negera, director of CBS's Diversity Showcase. Resigned after an investigation into accusations that he made inappropriate and lewd comments to performers. In a statement, he said he was quote, confounded by deliberate and cruel defamations. All right, let's see what happened to this guy. He has not apologized. He has flat out just said, nope, this was not me. Hold on, Rick. I don't know. So he's still an actor. Oh, this is definitely the picture we're gonna use. IMDb, let's see what he's got. He's still got someone working for him, at least, doing his 2018. So it looks like he stopped being a writer, but he is still working in quite a bit of shows as an actor. This has not gotten him that canceled. He's a producer of this short. Diversity, sketch comedy. Wow, he was doing a lot of stuff in there for a minute. Champions for Children's Award. What is this man in the Champions for Children's Award for? So let's see. That's his IMDb. Does not seem to have a Wikipedia. Oh, Instagram. Let's see what he's doing on Instagram and Twitter. Not that many followers. Mad TV, East Los High, blah blah blah. Oh, he's Latino Thought Makers. He's not even in the partner program on YouTube. I've got a better YouTube than this guy. Buddy's got 40K on Twitter, and he's not actually verified on Twitter. So we'll stick him that hilarious picture of him. Let's get it right over there. That's about right in the C range, because he's still somewhat working, but not that great. Kevin Spacey. Oh, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Let's see what Kevin Spacey is up to today. We'll go with this picture. That works. So, Kevin Spacey in the news. He is still being talked about. In fact, 3 days ago, Kevin Spacey plays a serial killer in first film since sexual assault allegations. Cannes market. Oh wow! So he's in the Cannes Film Festival. He's definitely getting work right now. Apparently. Oh, why did he change his name? Oh, that's going into why he became Kevin Spacey. So at 62 years old, he is working again. That's interesting. It looks like, so he had a break, but he's got several films right here coming down the line. What are they talking about? House of Cards, he was removed off of, but I guess this stuff was all filmed. The 2018, 2019 stuff was filmed back then, but there's a lot of stuff coming out. Kevin Spacey's having a better 2022 than I am. This guy's got all sorts of work going on, and we're only halfway through the year, and Kevin Spacey has been working more than like most working actors. This guy's got one thing in pre-production, one film in post-production, 2 that are completed, and 1 that's already out. So Kevin Spacey, I guess 2022 is the year of Spacey. He is on a roll right now. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's I was not. Oh wait, hold on. I like this picture better. I was not expecting that. Let's see, Kevin Spacey, what he's doing on Instagram and Twitter. Wow. And yeah, they're talking about it on Rolling Stone and everything now. He's just right back in. Oh, come on. You guys are going to make me fucking log into things. I don't want to do that. 4 million people still verified. Has not posted since 2020, but he still has his verification and everything. 4 million followers. Kevin Spacey is, wow, pushing new heights for this list. We're gonna put him as a picture-in-picture here, and the A. We'll give him an A because he had a break. They were on a break, but Hollywood clearly is back on speaking terms with Kevin Spacey. Wow. So there's a huge gap here. Like we've got Harvey Weinstein, who went to jail and had a lot of things happen, and everyone was like, yeah, look at what happened to Harvey Weinstein. But then there's this massive gap before you get to anybody else of where they're all going. And I don't know. Hopefully we're going to fill in this gap, but I feel like I might have to start pushing this down because there's going to be people who are managing to somehow outdo it. I want to say that, like, I mean, Kevin Spacey right now is just amazing what he's been accomplishing this year. But I don't know what we're gonna keep on going. I already know we've got Louis C.K. in the chamber, so I mean, there's a lot of things that we might need to move some of this stuff down to get some more room at the top for how successful the canceled Me Too men are. So next we're going to Hamilton Fish. He was the publisher and president of the New Republic, resigned after accusations of inappropriate conduct and said he had a lot, quote, a lot to learn about the treatment of women in the workplace. Hey, Hamilton, just, I'm going to spitball here. Treat them like humans, just like you do the men. But they're women. That's the only difference. They're still humans. They're just not men. They're women. I don't know. Just a thing. But I would treat them all the same in the workplace. That's me. But let's see if he's learned. Let's see what Hamilton Fish has learned in the last 5 years. Well, first of all, Hamilton Fish is a very popular name, and some Abe Lincoln looking dude used to be the Secretary of State. So he's going to be hard to find. As you can see right here, there's the one picture, the one current picture, and then everything else is kind of hiding. So let's see if we can't make this a little bit better. So Hemfish the Fifth, I think, is what this might actually be him. They might be related. I'm learning all sorts of things here today. Personal life references. I think, yeah, this is him. He doesn't have the same. They're not really mentioning. He's got a lot to learn about how to treat women in the workplace, but he has learned everything he needs to about reputation management because it doesn't have anything about his allegations or any of the things that are going on. Well, at least not. It might be buried in here, but so far the rest of them have had the whole thing to it. 2017. This is where it would be leave of absence. There we go. So. Independent investigation, remain on leave of absence, 2017, publish the allegations, 2017, writing in response, as I understand it, some employees, to my deep dismay, complained this week that my presence had led them to feel uncomfortable at the New Republic. It's my sense that our office culture has been harmed, blah, 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 whatever. So it's hard to say what necessarily happened to him from this so far. This is all 2017. 2017 was when they made sure to update this last, and it doesn't seem like he has been. This has been updated since. Hamilton Fish the Fifth. Harvard, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, so this does all go back through, like his dad was a governor or house rep. So yeah, this whole family, all the way back to the Lincoln days, apparently, were very well placed. So let's see if we can find. There he is specifically. 69 years old. 69. Yeah, it seems like they have not been talking about him, at least in the media. Let's see what they say his net worth might be. God damn, ads. Chill. I don't care. Ad was inappropriate. Yes. Fuck off. I probably missed it. Where his net worth was. Oh, here we go. 1.5 million under review. Living in own house. I mean, he seems like, I'm sure he's fine, but it doesn't look like anything has happened, good or bad, one way or the other, since his cancellation. Wait, the Washington Spectator. That's right, it did say he was still writing for, so yeah, he still is writing. He's just writing for a different outlet. Out of the New Republic, he got hired by the Washington Spectator. So still working. Not any way pulled out of power. Uh, let's go ahead and put his grandpa on blast, or great grandpa on blast, because we'll just assume that if Hamilton the Fifth still had things to learn, it's because he wasn't taught by Hamilton the Fourth, who wasn't taught by Hamilton the Third, who wasn't taught by Hamilton the Second, who wasn't taught by this man, who we are going to put right in here. We'll tuck him in. Yeah, no, I'll find a better one that fits there. Let's stick him here, the B to C range, because 1.5 million is not a lot compared to. I mean, Kevin Spacey probably made more than 1.5 million each for each one of his acting gigs, his 5 or 6 acting gigs this year. Andy Dick, fired from 2 films after accusations of sexual harassment. He pleaded not guilty to a sexual battery charge in July and denies claims of groping. Let's see what he is up to now. Oh, we're definitely going with that image. His mugshot. Hold on, Andy. Let's real quick. Let's make sure we get the right image here for Andy Dick. Oh, there's so many. Is that? Oh yeah. Wow. Let's go with old school. We're going with vintage Andy Dick mugshots today. Let's see how he's doing before I put it on here. For all we know, Andy Dick is the president of the United States, and I haven't been. Oh, he was arrested again. Wow. Just this month. Released from jail after literally still going at it. He was arrested on a live stream. What the fuck? Wow, Andy Dick. This is gonna. I'm gonna really have to figure out what to do with this one, because like, he clearly has just gone on to become a serial. I mean, it's Andy Dick. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, but this is going to be a cautionary tale of. Police have not released the man's name. A YouTube channel titled Captain Content RV captured the arrest and events leading up to it. Revealed a man who goes by the name of JJ accused Dick of molesting him in his sleep. In his sleep, Andy? What the fuck? You are a dick. Wow. I smelled parts of myself and they smelled like artificial smells. What is wrong with you, Andy Dick? So let's see what he did between this month's sexual assault and 2017's sexual assault legal issues. Feud with John Lovitz. Yeah, let's go. 2018 restraining order, misdemeanor sexual battery. 2021 was the felony assault. 2022 was felony sexual battery. Wow. So Andy Dick is on this Me Too list, and it's interesting because like he's got like arrests for 20 years. But oh man. Let's see if we can find where he was working that gap though. Oh, he was mugged in Las Vegas in April. So after being mugged, he got arrested for sexual assault. But he still seems to be working, I think. Let me... Andy Dick. 2016... 2017. Yeah, well, he's off of TV. Hold up. Web series. Yeah, no, he's off of TV and this stuff. So it seems like he is at least off of all of... I mean, he's been canceled. He keeps going to jail, so... I guess we're going to stick him over by a little bit above Harvey Weinstein, because he goes to jail, but it seems not to do much for him. He just continues to go back into jail and continue coming out doing some creepy shit. Thus is Andy Dick. Hold on, I need to eat a piece of bacon and smoke some weed real quick. All right. Man. So at least Harvey Weinstein's got some company down there with the creepiest Andy Dick mugshot. I forgot about that mugshot. It's so fucking creepy. He looks like the dude that played Loki. Um, Michael Oreskes, head of news at NPR and former New York Times editor, resigned after accusations of sexual harassment of 3 women. He apologized and called his behavior wrong and inexcusable. So it's funny because Rupert Murdoch and all of those things, they heard a lot about, like the Fox News. They made a whole movie about Fox News, but NPR didn't get a whole movie about it. Michael, what the hell's the guy's name again? Oreskes. American journalist. Oh, wow, this is definitely going to be his pick. Let's go to his Wikipedia, his Twitter. I mean, they got rid of him at NPR, but like they still obviously did not because his other stuff is still up there. Still verified check mark on Twitter, and still writing. Looks like he stopped tweeting. No, he's still retweeting things. He's still active on Twitter. He's still verified on Twitter. He's the executive editor now of whatever Global Goals Cast is. He's inspiring listeners to make the world a better place by sharing stories of how advancing and achieving a more sustainable world. Of those, not of how. So yeah, see, he's got the sexual history of sexual assault and harassment they put on here. But it looks like he has not been fired. He is still verified on Twitter. He's still working, though not for NPR. He's in his 60s and he still seems to be okay overall. Let's see where he is writing. 1 month ago. The Spirit, the local paper for the Upper West Side. Oh, so he's just writing for all the rich Republicans on the Upper West Side. Interesting. The Spirit, the local paper. He just made his own little... Alright. He's a little blogger just like the other guy. Let's stick him... yeah. Put him in with the rest of the bloggers, I guess. Did we find his LinkedIn? I don't know that I didn't see it up there. Yeah, no, they didn't. I didn't see it. Alright, so not that bad. Oh, I don't want to keep going over these state senators. I feel like they're all going to be around the same thing. We're going to skip state senators to try to make this easier. Kendall Fells, organizing director of the Service Employees International, SC. Didn't we already have another one from the SC? That was the Chicago guy. This dude that was doing fucking amazing since then, whose career has taken off since then. Let's go with Kendall Fells. See how he compares. Did I get the right? So it was all through the union too. The fight for $15. It hasn't been on here in a while. Let's see what the civil case is. Kendall Kim Fells, service employee. Oh yeah, this is the case. So he went through a civil case in 2020. Looks like he filed the civil case against them. Interesting. So he is actually, looks like, well, let me see if I didn't go back down to see where that case is at right now. Order granting appellee's counsel motion to withdraw. Counsel's motion to withdraw. So this is still going on. Interesting. They are still going back and forth where he has sued the people who canceled him. False strikes. There's all sorts of interesting things coming in out of this guy. Let's see. Let's look at what he's doing on LinkedIn. Yeah, he's still working infrastructure specialist 4. Is this the same guy? It might not be. It could be, though. Yeah, it looks like he is still, I mean, he still exists, and he's fighting back. He's fighting his cancellation to try to, in court, to try to get some kind of monetary compensation for it. So, let's stick him. He's not doing as well as the other guy. We'll give him a C. Yeah, that seems about right. Let's see where we've got. Sam Adams, director of the U.S. branch of the World Resources Institute, left his job as the director of the U.S. branch of the think tank after a former staffer said Mr. Adams sexually harassed him when he was the mayor of Portland, Oregon. Mr. Adams called the accusations false and said his decision to leave the think tank was unrelated. So, let's start. This guy is going to be hard to find. Let's see what we got here. Portland Mayor Sam Adams. Blah, blah, blah. Sam Adams, Portland. Oh yeah, they do know who he is. So, 2021 became Portland's Director of Strategic Innovations for the office of Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler. So he's still working for the mayor. He's not having any issues. He returned to Portland. Ran for city council, lost by 2,000 votes in Portland. They didn't even care. You would think Portland seems like the epicenter, like the capital city of cancel culture. Like Portland is Twitter in real life, basically. And it seems like he would have been fired, but he's still working. Recycled former mayor back in City Hall to help out Portland. I just can't quit you! ! Opinions only my own. Auto followbacks and RTs not equal endorsement. That's his LinkedIn profile, first off. That is what his LinkedIn profile says. And okay, so it is just a direct, straight up copy of his Twitter profile. He's got Black Lives Matter hanging over his head. Oh man. Black Lives Matter's on here. He took the time to get 2 separate Black Lives Matter photos. I'll give him that. Still got almost 100,000 people. He's still being cool. He is not in any way worried about these allegations in any way. He politicianed his way through it. We'll stick him in the, get him in that range right here where he's not quite Kevin Spacey. He's not making Kevin Spacey money yet, but he's the mayor, or he's working for the mayor. I mean, it's not like he's back in the mayor's office. Wow. Not verified on Twitter though, which is interesting. So he's cool, but not that cool. Ed Westwick. Let's see what happened to Ed Westwick. Cut from the BBC show Ordeal by Innocence after 3 women accused him of sexual assault. He denied the allegations. Prosecutors in LA declined to press charges because of lack of evidence. Ed Westwick. Let's see. Go into his Wikipedia. Pop out his Instagram, IMDb, Twitter. Let's see what he's doing. I can't get out on Instagram. He has like millions of followers on there though. Actor, producer, director. Still working. Got plenty of stuff going on right now. A podcast series, 2 things, 1 filming, 1 completed. Those are the 2 movies. Several movies that he'd done in between then. Producer. He's become a producer since then. He's become a director. He's become a writer. He's still appearing on Culturally Obsessed and Celebrity Page, whatever that means. He's got himself almost 1 million followers on Twitter, still active, verified. Yeah, no problems facing this man right now, it seems. Let's see what we have. Where is sexual assault allegations? November 17, July 2018, would not be prosecuted. Yeah, so he lost a few scenes, give or take, with BBC, but overall, he has not, the statute of limitations and everything, I know. So yeah, it seems like he has not had any kind of, any problem with anything. Ed Westwick is still working today. He never had to take a break, it looks like, besides the one thing that he lost. So he's actually working less than Kevin Spacey still, though. So we've got to stick him a little bit down below. Yeah, overall seems fine. Step the representative. Okay, chief of staff to U.S. representative. This might be worth looking into. Eat some more bacon here. This one just seems kind of lame, actually. Let's go down, skip the senators. Louis C.K. Louis C.K. So Louis C.K. has since won, it was a Grammy, I believe. He's got everything on his own website now. He seems to be mostly off of social media for the most part, although he does have YouTube still up and putting things out. So let's see. IMDb, he has Sorry TV special, Sincerely CK, Better Things he's still getting paid for. It's like that's where it stops on that. Producer, that's still getting paid for that. Yeah, paid for a pretty decent amount of things off of there as a producer. So he's still making money. He's still getting 1.8 million views on one of those things, 398,000 views. He's getting a pretty decent YouTube following on 255,000 subscribers. I'm one of them. So yeah, Louis C.K. has been removed from a lot of things, but he's still doing rather well for himself. He has his comeback tour. He's got his Grammy. He is doing well. Not as well as Kevin Spacey, though. So we still have to take that into consideration. But let's stick him in that range. So let's see what we got next. State representatives, state senators. Executive producer of The Arrow and Flash. Okay, let's see what this guy did. Fired after accusations of sexual harassment and inappropriate physical contact. He denied the allegations. Andrew Kreisberg. Thank you for correcting me, Google. Still showing up as television writer. 51 years old. Pull up his Wikipedia. IMDb. Might be funny if this is the same guy. He's now an attorney. But alright, let's see where we got. First off, Twitter, still verified. 52,000 followers. Has not tweeted since that time frame, it seems. Gotta check his likes. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, he's pretty much gotten off of Twitter, but he's still verified and has the 52K, so he can come back to him whenever he wants. IMDb still getting credited as creator of The Flash, still being credited as the creator. He's getting paid like crazy for all of this stuff. But it looks like he's not really working anymore, but does not seem to need the work because he's making a pretty decent amount of money from everything that he got. Allegations. Yeah, so it looks like he was effectively canceled, but he's still getting paid. That's just the way that the credits work and all that stuff. Let's get a good image of him. Oh, the sad face is great. Put him in that range, that retirement range. All right, let's go on. Eddie Bergenza, editor at DC Comics, fired following accusations that he forcibly kissed and tried to grope colleagues. Eddie Bergenza. Still got a decent thing. Hasn't been written about since 2017 in the mainstream news. It appears that he might have been fully canceled here. So he's a freelance writer and editor now and world builder. He's been self-employed since. I don't know what he's doing. He's just basically floating around in the gig economy, working basically the same thing that he's always been doing. Following a period in Mexico building homes for the homeless and working as a teacher. So yeah, he actually went through a pretty decent thing of redemption, it seems. He didn't just apologize, he actually went out and did some stuff. But yeah, he's not on the same level that he was before. Well, hold on, let's see if we can find a Wikipedia, or not Wikipedia, Twitter or anything for him. He's not really on social media. So we can put him, I suppose, in like a mid-range, give or take. stick him out in that range, like a C. It doesn't seem like he's all that wealthy or anything like that. Gary Goddard, founder of the Goddard Group, stepped away from his company after accusations that he molested 8 former child actors. Wow. Let's go look at Gary Goddard. American film producer. He kind of looks like the kind of guy that would do that. Not sure what George Takei is doing there. Oh, because George Takei is also... I forgot about that. Man, there's so many of these things. It's so hard to keep track of, like, who's who among the Hollywood elite rapists. So, I've got his picture, but I don't remember where we were going to put him. I don't think I actually looked up what he's doing yet. So let's go into Wikipedia, IMDb. Looks like, again, he's been mostly not talked about since all of this stuff. Founder and CEO. Let's check his LinkedIn. If anything has changed. It still looks like he is the founder and CEO, like he hasn't been removed from his own group. Did it say that's what it was? Stepped away from his company. Bunch of accusations. One of them committed suicide. It does not seem... He left the company in 2018. They call it Legacy Entertainment now. So Landmark Entertainment and Legacy Entertainment. But it does seem like he might be wholly canceled off of here, but I'm sure he's making a ton of money off of it still. I mean, he's not... He hasn't had to look for a job. He's a CEO level person. Yeah, I guess that is a good appropriate spot to put him in. So, state representatives. Man, that whole Kentucky state. What is wrong with you, Kentucky? Wow. It looks like they were all the same person. That's why I kept scrolling up, because all these white people look alike to me. I'm white, I can say that. Colorado State, Oregon State, Colorado State, Ohio State. Jesus, guys. Chief News Editor, NPR. So we got another NPR person. Let's see where David Sweeney is now. So David Sweeney left after accusations of sexual harassment from 3 female colleagues. Is this the same one? This can't be the same guy. Maybe it is. Oh, damn it. I can't get into LinkedIn. Or not LinkedIn, Instagram. Maybe it's not. That doesn't seem like those are very different people. Product management, founder and consultant. Mindbody, eBay, Apple. This isn't the guy, I don't believe. This looks like... There it is. Yeah. So, since then, he founded his own consulting company. Now he's an innovative thinker, solution implementer, and relationship builder. Showcases experience within risk, crisis, and security environments. Yeah, you did that. Defining strategies and delivering visions through transformation programs. All right. So he is now a consultant and seems to be doing all right for himself, despite the issues. in 2017. That looks like a perfect picture for this. That seems. Oh yeah, I already had him there, huh? Wait, that's a different guy. That's the other NPR guy. Sorry, forgot there was two sexual deviants at NPR that never really got talked about as much as the Fox News. Stick them next to each other. They seem to be doing as well as each other. I'll get him a little bit ahead. Let's go. Keep going. State Senator will skip. Chairman of Florida Democratic Party. Let's see what happened to this guy, just out of shits and giggles. Stephen Battelle. Terra Nova Corporation. Founder and chairman. A fixture in both the real estate industry and community of Miami, Florida. Yeah, he's still making money. He doesn't give a fuck. This guy is absolutely fine. Look at that. 14,000 people checking him out. He is still the founder and chairman. It does not look like he resigned from anything. I do not see any kind of indication. When was this done? Billionsuccess.com. I don't see a date. What the fuck? Crunchbase profile. He's still listed in everything. He's not really I don't see him suffering. I don't see where he's stepped down from anything. Still right here, Stephen Battelle announced his new lease signed, blah blah blah. He is still the chairman. Stepped down. Oh, he stepped down from the Florida Democratic Party. Yeah, he's still the chairman of his fucking corporation. He never left his corporation. He's just not part of the Democratic Party anymore. So I mean, for me, that's a win. I mean, he's definitely upgraded. He still owns his company. Still has all of his money. He's no longer associated with the Democratic Party. Yeah, he definitely belongs in that win category. Give him a B. Charlie Rose. Let's see what Charlie Rose is up to these days. Yes, I did mean Charlie Rose, not Toes. So Charlie Rose is fired by CBS and PBS after accusations of crude sexual advances. Like the most sexual advances, as long as they're smooth, as long as you're suave and sophisticated with your sexual advances, it's apparently okay. But if they're crude, then yeah, you're gonna end up on this list of people who have clearly succeeded by large margins since the 5 years since they were canceled. So let's start with the news. He's reassured Charlie Rose 10 hours ago about something. Charlie Rose attempts Me Too comeback with Warren Buffett. Oh, he's back on the air as of a month. Oh, the 2022 is the year where the Me Too movement is just dead, apparently. Like all these guys are rising up from that cancellation. So Charlie Rose is back on the air, it turns out. Let's see if we can find a little bit more about this. There's this. Oh yeah, he's CNN. He's on. What is this? Charlie Rose's first interview since sexual misconduct on CNN. They're putting him back in there. And then he's got his own YouTube channel where he is doing. Here it is. Interviews, and Warren Buffett gave him one of these interviews. So he's got 127,000. He does get paid for this. He's able to keep any of his other stuff on there. He's still doing it. Look at this. Look at all these Charlie Rose, you are a beast, man. You're still working. Look at all this. All these interviews. He's still doing it. He has launched his comeback. He's not working like he's still not working like Kevin Spacey, but Charlie Rose is on the comeback trail in 2022. That creepy ass photo will work. That seems perfect. So yeah, man, we are gonna have to start moving a little bit down somewhere. Let me stick Charlie Rose right about here because there's still some room. He hasn't won the awards that Louis C.K. has, and he's not working as much as Kevin Spacey. But Charlie Rose still staying in it. Man, let's suspend it and then reassign a new beat. So we're not even gonna bother to look at it because we know Glenn Thrush is still well working. Let's go with John Lasseter, Chief Creative Officer of Pixar and Walt Disney Animation. Stepped away after accusations of unwanted workplace hugging and other inappropriate touching. He apologized. He has a consulting role until the end of the year. Let's see what happened to John Lasseter post Me Too. 65 years old. He's got his Wikipedia still. He is. Let's check his IMDb. Facebook, LinkedIn. Let's see what LinkedIn says. I don't feel like a lot of these people actually update their LinkedIn because like he's still showing as Chief Creative Officer of Pixar Animation. It's like he wanted to. Maybe he just hasn't gotten something since then that matches with that. John Lasseter. Wow, that's going to be your photo there, my friend. 2022. He's still working. He's still working. What is this? Hold on. What did it say? Stepped away and has been consulting. So he never left. He's still clearly executive producing things that are filming right now. I mean, his writing thing. He wrote Lightyear, that Buzz Lightyear thing that's coming out now. Cars on the Road. Like he's involved in a lot of children's stuff right now. This is great. This guy John Lasseter. Let's see if he 6 month sabbatical is what he took. 6 month sabbatical after acknowledging what he called missteps in behavior. So he is saying that it's true what he was doing, but he was still hired to run Skydance Animation. Paramount Pictures, blah blah blah. So yeah, it looks like he is still doing quite a bit. Return to Disney. They've got allegations. Let's see here. There were no findings of secret settlements of Disney or Lasseter. Interesting. So he took like a 6 month sabbatical. He called it a year, and he's since been involved in a bunch of things: Luck, Spellbound, Puku, Raygun. Yeah, he's well back in the business. He's working almost as well as Spacey. We finally have someone who can hang with Spacey up here. That is John Lasseter, who basically took a short sabbatical. And now he is still doing a lot of children's cartoons and things. Matt Lauer. Oh, I'm excited to see where Matt Lauer is these days. Let's find out. Pull up his Wikipedia. He has not claimed his knowledge panel yet. Matt Lauer's old school. He's TV. He doesn't really care about the internet. They're still talking about him all over the place. Here's what Matt Lauer is doing now. Let's finds a buyer for He's had to sell his Hamptons estate. Oh no, poor guy. Let's see what we've got going on in the news. Disgrace finds buyer for lavish Hamptons estate. So yeah, someone bought a fucking sex dungeon. For 36. Oh, he bought it from Richard Gere for 36 million. Yeah, that house has definitely seen a lot. See what they say. Town and Country says he's doing now. Low profile. Got divorced. Oh, then he went after Ronan Farrow because apparently, wow. Let's see. Let's see what they say. He's done. I don't know if we're going to be able to. It looks like he is still keeping a relatively low profile. I mean, he's got his millions and millions of dollars, so, I mean, he doesn't need to do much. But he's not actively working as far as I can tell. So that puts him actually. I mean, he was never charged with anything, but he's still pretty low compared to what we have available. Um, Stick him down in that C range, I guess. Yeah. Well, he's still rich though. I don't want to get him that low. We're gonna put him in here. No, it doesn't fit in there. See, it told me not to do it. C to D range because he's still living okay. Now B to C, B to C. I still feel better about that because he's. I mean that mansion he sold in the Hamptons was tens of millions of dollars. Um, Holy crap, there's so many of these things. I might have to take a break. I'm going to have to put this thing on pause or something. Or maybe I'll just start a new one, do a part two. This will be, I guess, part one. I mean, we clearly are seeing what's going on here, though. There's a pattern that's emerging. We're seeing where, cancellation is not really canceled with all these people. I'm going to go take a break real quick. I'm going to go pet my cat and let her outside for a minute and go for a walk and do a couple things. But I will be back probably today, if not tomorrow, to finish off this list because I'm fascinated to find out where the rest of these Me Too people are going to rank. So for now, I hope you all have a great day.